In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we attend the groundbreaking for the new high school athletic fields, follow up on our spotlight on Independence House, and join Troy Clarkson at the Cape and Island Chefs Association's monthly meeting. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. We start off this episode with a look at a new program from the Falmouth Police Department. As more and more residents and businesses use surveillance cameras to protect their property, the data and video they capture may also help the police department solve crimes and help keep Falmouth safe. Chief Dunn explains the details of the new program.
Falmouth has just begun a video surveillance camera registration program similar to other communities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. What this program is, it's very simple. If you have some surveillance cameras on your property, all we're asking you to do is register with the Falmouth Police Department. There's no cost. What this registration will do is we will have a database that we will not share with anybody. It's just for our own purposes. Should an incident happen in your neighborhood, whether it be a crime or a missing person, we can then go to the database and reach out and ask you to review your video system, your surveillance system, and if there's any data on there that could be helpful to the investigation, share it with us. It's pretty much what the program is. We're not tying into your camera system. We're not going to be sitting there reviewing your entire camera video that has been captured, whether it's in the cloud or on a recorder. We're going to be asking you to review that for that particular time of the incident that we're investigating.
The Falmouth Police Department is committed to utilizing every resource to prevent crime and protect citizens and their property. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. Part of the Town of Falmouth Bikeways Committee's mission is educating the public about bicycling and responding to citizens' concerns. We caught up with Pamela Rothstein, who told us about a new safety vest program.
I'm here today to tell you about new safety vests that we have created and are making available to the public through Howling Bird Studio. As part of our ongoing mission of educating about safe biking in Falmouth, among other things, we've created these vests that show the Shining Sea Bikeway, and on the back, those important words, alert me before passing, so that you A, give an audible signal, and B, give it well in advance so that someone knows you're coming and doesn't suddenly move. The police union of Falmouth took on the responsibility of paying for the silk screening costs, so you're getting this at cost. So if you write to the Falmouth Bikeways Committee and let us know how many vests you want, we have medium and large. This is a medium. And they cost $8.25. And when we have that group of orders for the month of March, we'll submit that to Howling Bird and alert you, and you can pick it up at Howling Bird. We'll do a second round in the summer when new people are in town. Looking forward to seeing you out on the bike path.
Whether you are a cyclist or pedestrian, always remember to follow the bike path rules to remain safe. Thanks to Andrew Richards for bringing us that information. Construction has officially begun on the new high school athletic complex, and FCTV was there for the groundbreaking ceremony.
And it's a quote on perseverance. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did.
You know, this is the culmination of years and years of planning and volunteer work and the perseverance that was mentioned. So to thank everyone that's here, as well as everyone that'll watch this on FCTV later or read about it in the newspaper, you know, this is all thanks to you and your ideas and your willingness to work hard for kids.
This certainly is a long anticipated day, and my compliments to all. This extraordinary project represents a partnership between the town and the school department, which, as we know, will result in a state-of-the-art athletic field complex to serve the fundamental recreational needs of the Falmouth schools as well as the Falmouth recreational community.
You know, I started here back in 1980, and coming back is full circle, and it's wonderful. We started talking about a field back then. Just took a little while, but we're here, and we're here to celebrate. And we're here to celebrate for all the students and community members who are going to use this facility. It's not only about the students at Falmouth High School, it's about the community at large, our senior citizens, our regular citizens who can walk, who can use this facility. It really is a tribute.
I would once again like to thank the entire Falmouth community for helping to make this groundbreaking ceremony possible. This field will serve boys and girls in activities such as lacrosse, football, field hockey, and band. It will allow us to offer more field time to more students. The location of the field will enhance our high school campus. As a community committed to excellence, this project will bring us another step closer in helping every student every day.
We look forward to cheering on the Clippers as they compete at their new facility. Thanks to Ryan Weber for that piece. It's time now for 3 Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
Chief Edward Dunn gave his quarterly report to the selectmen in this past Monday night's meeting. The chief gave an overview of calls received by the department in this past quarter and broke them down by the nature of the emergency. The chief also noted a big initiative regarding a trailer purchase for the use of the Hidden in Plain Sight program, educating citizens on tricks youth use to hide potential drugs in their bedrooms.
Right now we've had 1 arson this year, 5 sexual assaults, 2 commercial B&Es, 7 residential B&Es, 26 larcenies, and 20 ID theft or frauds. Narcotics, we've had 3 undercover buys, 1 buy bust. We've seized $500 in cash, and we have 3 Superior Courts under indictment right now.
Deputy Director Peter McConerty of the Department of Public Works also gave a status update to the selectmen regarding the many public works initiatives. Mr. McConerty mentioned several projects focusing on the Route 28 work to be done from Falmouth Heights Road to Oxbow Road. The selectmen had a few questions and comments regarding the project.
The Route 28 project, Main Street Route 28 project, has basically taken a lot of the focus for the roadway projects that we're working on, but there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. What I would like to start with is Mara Vista Ave. We are in the process right now of planning the installation of a new sidewalk on Mara Vista Ave from Minot Beach all the way up to the intersection with Route 28.
Any other questions? Anything else, Peter?
No, I said, so like I say, there's some exciting things going on with the transportation. We know the areas in town that are tight spots and congestion spots. We're working on them, we're compiling them right now, so.
Huge amount of work, very comprehensive planning.
On Tuesday night, the planning board heard plans for a medical marijuana dispensary on T-Ticket Highway. Members of the public showed up to voice their concerns for the applicant and the project. The board acknowledged the concerns of the public and discussed the project together to try to come up with solutions to the project's shortcomings.
And I hope that the condominium association and the applicant for this particular facility will speak to energy efficiency and renewable energy insofar as they are doing some renovation of this building.
I'm sort of disturbed that we can't see what it would look like in your view, were your plans to come to fruition, what it would appear to be. Paul's experience with a medical marijuana dispensary, I guess, was very positive. Mine wasn't. It wasn't in this state. It was in California because of a family member, and it was really a distressing place. It was in a dingy strip mall. It clearly was run down on the outside. It was really run down on the inside. It was spooky, and it certainly would not add to the character of the town. And of course, that's our responsibility, is maintaining and enhancing the character of the town. So not being able to see what you're envisioning is concerning. There would have to be some kind of condition around that were this to move forward without further information. But if you could talk about what you see in your mind's eye as far as fix-ups, I know the inside isn't our business, but inside and out to create an atmosphere for that enterprise.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll look at a local event that generates support for the educational programs in our schools. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Falmouth Education Foundation's mission is to support and enhance our local public schools by awarding grants for innovative programs that would otherwise not be included in their operating budget. They held their annual gala recently, and we spoke with some of those who were honored for their contributions.
FEF is a local organization. It's our schools and our community. And so every year we love to honor at our gala some community builders. And Joanne and Mike Fishbein are wonderful examples of community builders. Their professional and personal and volunteer lives are really all about support for friends, family, and community. And if you know anything about Mike and Joanne, you know that their influence is wide and their volunteer efforts are in organizations all over our town. So we're very proud that Mike and Joanne Fishbein are our 2019 honorees.
It's really just such a privilege to be reunited with friends and family from all across the country for such a great event. You know, public school education is something that we feel very strongly about. And our kids have been involved in these programs, and we know teachers involved with them. And we know really what it means to these kids as they leave the school system and enter the world in their real lives.
This is an amazing organization that provides funding and mini grants for projects in the school system that would not otherwise be available to them. And it's quite an honor to be here as their guests and with our community of friends and family.
Congratulations to the Fishbeins for the well-deserved recognition of their long-time service to the Falmouth Education Foundation. Thanks to Ryan Weber for that coverage. Digital Learning Day was recently celebrated in the Falmouth Public Schools as a way to recognize the practices that effectively use technology to strengthen students' learning experiences.
Digital Learning Day is a way to actively spread innovative practices and ensure that all youth have access to high-quality digital learning opportunities across our school district. In classrooms and out-of-school programs in Falmouth, district educators are doing some pretty amazing things with technology. Digital learning advances our district by increasing equity and access to educational opportunities, improving effectiveness and productivity of teachers and administrators, providing student-centered learning to ensure college and career readiness for all students, and recognizing teachers as education designers. Digital learning is any instructional practice that effectively uses technology to strengthen our students' learning experiences. It emphasizes high-quality instruction and provides access to challenging content, feedback through formative assessment, opportunities for learning anytime and anywhere, and individualized instruction to ensure every student reaches their full potential every day. Digital learning encompasses many different facets, tools, and applications to support and empower teachers and students, including online courses, blending or hybrid learning, or digital content resources. Additionally, digital learning can be used for professional learning opportunities for teachers and to provide personalized learning experiences for students. Since 2012, Digital Learning Day has provided a powerful venue for educators to highlight great teaching practice and showcase innovative teachers, leaders, and instructional technology programs that are improving student outcomes. This grassroots effort blossomed into a massive nationwide celebration as teachers realized that Digital Learning Day is not about technology, it's about learning. Digital Learning Day promotes the effective use of modern-day tools used in other industries to improve the learning experience in our pre-K to 12 district for every student, every day.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that coverage. Last month, we spotlighted Independence House, an organization that assists survivors of domestic and sexual violence on Cape Cod. In this episode, we paid a visit to the Falmouth office and learned about the services available in our community.
We are located at 220 Main Street in Falmouth. We provide group counseling, individual counseling, and advocacy for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. And they can either be men, women, or children, or all of the above. Oftentimes we work with the hospital, with the Falmouth Hospital, Falmouth Police Department, a lot of times for sexual assault cases. We also work with a lot of the human service agencies in Falmouth, Falmouth Human Services, the Falmouth Service Center. If someone walks into any one of our offices, we would do our best to accommodate them and try to get a counselor to complete an intake with them. And then from there, they would be assigned a counselor. We also have a liaison from the Falmouth Police Department. Her name is Carmen Espinoza. She is a counselor here at Independence House, and she is our liaison to the Falmouth Police Department, and she also works for the Falmouth Police Department as well as Independence House.
One of the benefits of having an advocate in a police department is it allows victims to come in and talk with somebody who can get information about how a case would be handled if they were to call the police. Unfortunately, many victims do not want to call the police because it interferes with the jobs, with income, paying the insurance for their children. Because if an abuser gets arrested, he could very well lose his job. But what we found was people spread the words. Women talk in the town and will tell their friend who's going through something like that, call Carmen over at the police department. She's not a cop. She's not going to arrest your husband, your boyfriend. She's going to help you. It's just a comforting thing to know they can go in there, be safe, and talk to somebody and not have to follow through with charges.
How it really works is the police officers will be dispatched, for instance, to a domestic violence call, and they'll take the report, maybe make an arrest, depending on the circumstances, and then Carmen will follow up with that victim of the domestic violence incident to reach out to assure them that there are services available, that the court system doesn't necessarily have to be as scary and intimidating as they may think it is. Carmen also provides a resource here to our police officers. With her specialized training, police officers can approach Carmen and ask for assistance in how to best deal with a domestic violence case that they may have been presented with.
One of the biggest parts of my job is to maintain that training to all incoming new staff that comes in there. Just to refresh their memory on their training they had in the academy about domestic violence, but also to let them know there's, a lot of different ways to handle a domestic violence call that does not involve upsetting a victim. The police do not have the time to follow up on every domestic. Some of those follow-ups will take 3 or 4 calls. It can go on for weeks, sometimes months, involving court, and they need support during that. And that's the main purpose of getting advocates in police departments, so we can shift that responsibility to somebody who is dedicated to just that job. What we found in the 10 years I've been in Falmouth is our complaints from domestic violence victims has dropped to near zero.
So we also have a 24-hour hotline, and that is a number that people can call if they feel that they are in trouble and they need assistance, or if they just need someone to speak to. What we do is we provide, if someone calls the hotline, we provide brief counseling services, and we do try to get them in for an intake to speak with a counselor.
To reach Independence House through their 24-hour hotline, call 800-439-6900. 6507. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. In our last episode, we covered the Cape Cod Curling Club's 50th birthday celebration. This week, we get an inside look at youth curling in Falmouth.
So each person throws 2 rocks if you have a 4-person team. There's different types of shots. There's takeouts, there's draws, there's guards. At first, it's just for fun, so if you push it through the house, it's okay.
The way you score points in an end is the stones that are closest to the button or the center of the circle, stones that are counting, I guess, and you count those outwards. And if a stone that's another color is out counting or is closer to the center than another stone that's from the opposing color, then it's only how many are in the
ones that are closest to the button.
It's really an etiquette sport. You're always congratulating the other team if they make a shot. Just general sportsmanship and being kind. That's really all what the sport's about.
It's really easy to get into. There's not really much you have to do. You just kind of have to go out on the ice and try it. You might fall, but falling for me is usually the fun part because you just get back up and it's just a fun little thing to do. Just go around curling, and there's no really hard thing to do about getting into it. And once you learn how to do it, it's pretty fun, and you can spend time doing it.
There's a huge difference for time. When you're competitive, you spend a lot more time curling. I curl 3 times a week, sometimes more. My sister will play 4, 5 times a week. We're both competitive, but regular juniors sometimes only curl once a week, twice a week, or not at all.
So gym curling and ice curling are similar because it's really the same aspects of the game. You really just push the rock down the ice, try to end up closest to the center of the house. But some differences that we have are definitely that the rocks that we used to have didn't curl at all, and it was really just throwing a knuckleball, see where it would end up. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, but on ice there's always going to be some sort of pattern that you can watch out for. With these rocks that we have now, I do believe that they curl well, and it should be fairly representative of how much they curl out on the ice here.
Curling is an excellent activity for local youth of all ages and skill levels. The Cape Cod Curling Club has a number of youth programs that help kids stay active while socializing and having fun at the same time. Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. After this short break, we'll check in with Troy Clarkson at the Coonamessett Inn for a gathering of more than 75 of the Cape's best chefs. Stay with us.
Cape Cod Young Professionals, or CCYP, is a local nonprofit working Cape-wide to connect our region's workforce and future leaders. CCYP offers monthly networking events, career development opportunities, and nonpartisan civic engagement activities, all designed to help Cape Cod's emerging workers make new connections and get involved in the community. With more than 1,000 members, 85 volunteers, and 2 full-time staff members, CCYP is the only organization of its kind and structure in the state. CCYP's work extends beyond networking alone to foster greater quality of life and career opportunity for the Cape's up-and-coming workforce. For CCYP and the many young people who have chosen to make Cape Cod their home, our beautiful peninsula is not just a vacation destination, but a community of year-round residents dedicated to keeping Cape Cod vibrant and thriving for years to come. Get engaged and help shape regional conversations on issues that matter to young workers at CCYP's upcoming Shape Your Cape Summit, April 4th at the Seacrest Beach Hotel. The keynote speaker for the event, Roy Heffernan of the Life is Good brand, will speak on the power of optimism for personal and professional advancement. The summit will also feature a variety of educational workshops and panel discussions, including a housing advocacy training, a mocktail meeting, and a roundtable discussion of entrepreneurship on Cape Cod. After the summit, join CCYP for a special after-hours connect at Bucatina Restaurant. To learn more about CCYP, the Shape Your Cape Summit, or our work in Falmouth, visit CapeCodYoungProfessionals.org, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or attend one of our monthly networking events. We look forward to connecting with you.
Welcome back. The Cape Cod and Islands Chef Association recently held their monthly meeting to share ideas, best practices, and experiences. Here's Troy's take on that culinary gathering.
Thanks, Michael. Well, I'm here at the Coonamessett Inn, and as you can see, it's pretty quiet around me.
but things are about to get very busy. We're here for the Cape and Islands Chefs Association annual meeting, and they're going to come from all over Cape Cod to come here to this spot to collaborate and to brainstorm and to really share information on food and serving from all over the Cape. Chef Joe Elia invited us here, so we'll go in and chat with Joe and see what's going on here at the Cape and Islands Chefs Association. So Joe, you are the secretary of this revitalized organization where chefs from all over the Cape come together and collaborate and really put together best practices to keep the level of performance as high as it can be for chefs on Cape Cod.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great chapter we started a few years ago, and literally chefs from all around the Cape, even from off the Cape, are coming to us and coming to these meetings once a month to get together and talk about the industry and what everybody's looking forward to.
And that's amazing, really, because the result, of course, is the best food out for people that patronize all these restaurants, and probably as important, if not more so, professional development for chefs on Cape Cod.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a group. We come together and we can continue our education after our schooling, or years just working in industry. We can come together and help teach each other and grow each other as well as a group, so we can give out the best product to the community.
And I know you've been a big champion of education, not only for current chefs, but for young people that want to get into the industry. You're really an ambassador of education for young chefs on Cape Cod.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we try to get the students involved as much as we can because they are the future of this business and industry. So we work with the high school kids and the college kids, and we try to bring them all along the ways and show them what we know.
And speaking of the future, you've got an exciting future ahead of you. So an important announcement that some people will see for the first time here on FCTV.
Yeah, so I recently offered a job position with the Black Dog as their executive chef, and we'll be opening a location in Falmouth Heights around the beginning of April. And then I'll also be overseeing the Dockside Cafe in Oaks Bluff and the Water Street Cafe in Vineyard Haven going forward too as well, and working with them and bring up their culinary standards.
If you're hiring an electrician to rewire your house, you want to make sure you have the best qualified electrician to do that important work. If you're hiring an attorney to fill out a will, you want to make sure you have the best qualified and trained lawyer for that important job. Well, if you're dining out anywhere on Cape Cod, you want to make sure you have the best trained and best qualified chef serving meals for you and those you love. The Cape Cod Chefs Association is doing just that. And judging by the meal I had tonight, they're doing a great job. I'm Falmouth Enterprise columnist Troy Clarkson, and that's my take. Back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Troy. That fish sure looks delicious. Next time, bring us a doggy bag. FCTV wants you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the Morse Pond Polar Plunge. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.
Somebody last year had this idea about the kids. They were trying to figure out what would motivate the kids to raise lots of money for Morse Pond School. Somebody at the table mentioned, why don't we jump in the ocean? The person may have been me. Last year I managed to encourage 2 colleagues to do it with me. And this year, I didn't have to encourage too much. People actually stepped up to the plate and offered to do it. The kids raised $8,000 just to see us plunge, and raised even more than that to get the obstacle course, which we didn't hit last year. That's why we are here today. It's for the kids.
Our teachers are going to jump into the water and they're going to freeze.
I think it's pretty awesome because we raised the money for it, and now we're going to see Miss Dr. Whipple freeze to death and everyone else freeze to death, so I think that's pretty cool, I guess.